Hello everyone, and welcome back to Money Smart Basics. Let me start with a question. Have you looked at your savings account lately? Not your checking account, not your retirement account, your savings account. Is the balance growing, or is it slowly shrinking? What if I told you that millions of Americans are quietly withdrawing money from savings every month just to keep up with everyday expenses? What if I told you that many people are spending more than they earn, not because they're irresponsible, but because inflation has made life more expensive? And perhaps the most important question of all, if inflation continues, how long could your savings last? Today we're going to talk about why Americans are tapping out their savings, why this trend is especially dangerous for retirees, and why creating passive income may be one of the most important financial decisions you make over the next decade. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to share a simple strategy that can help you begin building income streams that work even when you're not working. Let's begin. Imagine a man named Robert. Robert is 68 years old. He worked hard his entire life. He spent over 40 years on the job. He did what most people were told to do. He worked. He saved. He paid taxes. He contributed to retirement accounts. And when retirement finally arrived, he thought he was prepared. Robert receives Social Security. He has a small pension. He has retirement savings. And for a while, everything seemed fine. Then, prices began rising. Groceries increased. Insurance increased. Utilities increased. Property taxes increased. Medical costs increased. Everywhere Robert looked, prices were climbing. At first, the increases seemed manageable. An extra $20 here, an extra $50 there. But eventually, something happened. His monthly expenses began exceeding his monthly income. Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever looked at your budget and wondered where all the money went? Have you ever felt like your paycheck or retirement income just doesn't stretch as far as it used to? That's exactly what Robert experienced. So what did he do? He started withdrawing money from savings, a few $100s one month, a few $100s the next, then $1,000, then another $1,000. After all, that's what savings are for, right? And yes, savings are designed to help during difficult times. But what happens when the difficult time lasts for years? What happens when inflation becomes permanent? What happens when your emergency fund becomes your monthly income supplement? That's where the danger begins, because savings can disappear faster than most people realize. Let's think about this together. Suppose someone withdraws $500 per month from savings. That doesn't sound terrible. In fact, many people spend more than that on dining out or entertainment. But $500 per month equals $6,000 per year. Over 10 years, that's $60,000. And that's before considering investment growth that money could have earned. Now imagine withdrawing $1,000 per month. That's $12,000 per year. Over 10 years, that's $120,000. Can you see how quickly retirement savings can begin shrinking? This is one reason why so many financial experts are concerned about Americans draining their savings. The problem isn't one withdrawal. The problem is developing a habit of depending on savings to cover regular expenses. Let me ask you something. If your income stopped tomorrow, how many months could your savings cover your lifestyle? 3 months? 6 months? 1 year? Could it cover 5 years? Could it cover 10? These are important questions, because retirement isn't measured in months, it's measured in decades. Now let's talk about another story. Meet Linda. Linda is 62 years old. She still works part-time. She earns enough to cover most of her bills, but she noticed something interesting. Every year, her expenses seem to increase faster than her income. One day she sat down with a calculator. She added up all the price increases she experienced over the previous 5 years. Her rent had increased, her car insurance had increased, her health insurance had increased, her grocery bill had increased, and her utility costs had increased. When she totaled everything, she realized she needed nearly $700 more every month than she did 5 years earlier. $700. That's over $8,000 per year. Have you ever calculated how much inflation has added to your expenses? Most people haven't. They simply notice they have less money left at the end of the month. Linda realized something important. The problem wasn't necessarily that she needed to spend less. The problem was that she needed additional income. And that's a lesson many Americans are learning today. For years, we've been taught to focus primarily on saving money. Saving is important. Emergency funds are important. Retirement accounts are important. But there comes a point where cutting expenses can only go so far. You can only cancel so many subscriptions. You can only reduce so many expenses. Eventually, you need another solution. You need additional income. Let me ask you a question. Would an extra $500 per month help your finances? What about an extra $1,000? What about an extra $2,000? Most people would immediately say yes. Why? Because income creates flexibility. Income reduces pressure. Income protects savings. Income creates options. This brings us to passive income. Now, before we continue, let's define passive income. Passive income is income that continues flowing after the initial work has been completed. It doesn't mean no work. It means less active work. It's money that can continue arriving whether you're working that day or not. Why is passive income becoming so important? Because expenses don't stop. Inflation doesn't stop. Bills don't stop. And eventually many people stop working. Passive income helps bridge that gap. Think about it this way. Would you rather constantly withdraw money from a savings account? Or would you rather receive income that helps cover expenses? That's the difference. One strategy depletes assets. The other strategy creates cash flow. Let me ask another question. If you retired tomorrow, where would your income come from? Social Security, a pension, investments, rental property, dividend stocks, a business, royalties, affiliate marketing, YouTube, network marketing, consulting? Most people have only one or two income sources, and that's exactly why inflation hurts so much. When expenses increase but income remains fixed, pressure builds. But when you have multiple income streams, you have more options. Let's talk about some passive income ideas. Dividend investing. Many companies pay shareholders a portion of profits. Those payments can provide ongoing income. Rental properties. When managed correctly, real estate can generate monthly cash flow. Digital products. An ebook, an online course, a workbook, something created once but sold repeatedly. YouTube content. Videos can continue generating revenue long after they're published. Affiliate marketing. Recommending products and services that solve problems for others. Royalties, licensing, business ownership. There are many ways people create additional streams of income. The goal is not necessarily becoming wealthy overnight. The goal is creating enough additional income to reduce pressure on your savings. Imagine receiving an extra $500 every month. That's $6,000 per year. Imagine receiving an extra $1,000 every month. That's $12,000 per year. What difference would that make in your life? Would it help cover groceries, utilities, property taxes, insurance, travel, medical expenses? Would it help you sleep better at night? For many people, the answer is yes. Now let's discuss a mistake many people make. They assume passive income is only for wealthy people. That's simply not true. Every income stream starts somewhere. Every investor starts with a first investment. Every business owner starts with a first customer. Every content creator starts with a first video. Every author starts with a first book. The key is beginning. Let me ask you something. What income-producing asset are you building today? Not tomorrow, not next year, today. Because one of the biggest retirement risks isn't running out of money, it's running out of income. Think about that. You can have assets, you can have savings, you can have retirement accounts, but if you don't have enough cash flow, you may still experience financial stress. Cash flow matters. Income matters. That's why I often say it's not what you make, it's what you keep, and it's also what continues coming in. Let's bring this back to the average American. Many households are facing a difficult reality. Prices are rising, savings are shrinking, debt is increasing, retirement is becoming more expensive, and many people feel stuck. But there is hope. The solution isn't panic. The solution is preparation. Review your spending. Strengthen your emergency fund. pay down high-interest debt, increase your financial knowledge, and begin building at least one additional income stream, even if it starts small. Remember, small streams eventually become larger rivers. $100 per month becomes $200, $200 becomes $500, $500 becomes $1,000. Progress matters, consistency matters, action matters. Let me leave you with one final story. An older gentleman was asked how he became financially secure in retirement. People expected him to reveal some secret investment strategy. Instead, he said something simple. I stopped relying on one source of income. That's it. He understood something many people learn too late. One stream can dry up. Multiple streams provide stability. That wisdom may be more valuable today than ever before. So let me ask you one last question. If inflation continues for another 5 years, will you be forced to withdraw more money from savings? Or will you have built additional income streams that help protect your future? The answer depends on the choices you make today. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you found value in this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And in the comments below, tell me, what passive income stream are you working on right now? Remember, savings are important. Investing is important. But building income-producing assets may be one of the most powerful financial moves you can make. Until next time, this is Alfonso Brooks Bay, reminding you to spend wisely, save consistently, invest intelligently, and build income that works even when you don't. Are you open to taking a look at an income opportunity? If so, comment opportunity below, and I'll share some information with you. No pressure, just take a look and decide if it's something that interests you. The information provided in this content is for educational and informational purposes only, and should not be considered financial, legal, or tax advice. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor, tax professional, or legal counsel before making any financial decisions. The creator of this content is not responsible for any actions taken based on the information provided. Investments and financial decisions carry risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results.